Machine in the Attic 1. Tommy discovered the time machine on a rainy Tuesday afternoon while exploring his grandmother's attic. It wasn't much to look at, just an old brass pocket watch with more gears and dials than seemed necessary. But the moment he picked it up, he felt a strange warmth pulse through his fingers. The note attached to it, written in his grandfather's precise handwriting, was simple. Time flows like a river, but rivers can run backward if you know how to swim. At first, Tommy thought it was just another one of his grandfather's peculiar inventions that never quite worked. The old man had been an engineer with more imagination than success, filling the attic with curious contraptions that gathered dust. But when Tommy accidentally turned all 3 dials at once while holding down the stem, the world around him began to blur. Colours swirled and merged like wet paint, and the familiar creaks and groans of the old house transformed into a symphony of time unwinding. When everything settled, Tommy found himself standing in the same attic, except it wasn't quite the same. The dust was gone, the boxes were newer, and through the window he could see cars that belonged in old photographs. He spent that first trip watching his grandfather as a young man, working late into the night at his workbench, muttering calculations under his breath. Tommy wanted to speak to him, to tell him about all the wonderful things his grandchildren would one day think of him, but he remembered his grandfather's other warning. The past is delicate as spider silk. Observe, but never touch. Over the next few weeks, Tommy made careful trips through time. He watched dinosaurs from the safety of a distant cliff, saw the pyramids being built, and witnessed the first flight at Kitty Hawk. But he always returned to watch his grandfather, understanding more with each visit why the old man's eyes had always twinkled with secret knowledge. One day, Tommy found a second note hidden inside the watch's case, this one written in his own handwriting, but aged yellow with time. When you're ready, give this to yourself at age 12. You'll know when. Tommy smiled, finally understanding. He wasn't the first young boy to find the time machine in the attic. He was just the latest in a long line of careful guardians, each watching over time itself, until the moment came to pass the watch along. That evening, as the sun set, Tommy wound the watch one last time. He had his own workshop to build now, and calculations to mutter under his breath. After all, time machines didn't invent themselves, except